You ready, bees?
What's up, everybody? So today we're going to do something a little bit different. So let me explain that a little bit. The still camera that I have, that I'm using right now, I knew that it shot video, but it turns out it shoots really good video. Pretty highly regarded in terms of creating videos like this. The audio on this camera, however, is good. It's very good, really, I mean, in comparison to a lot. But one thing it does suffer from is having wind noise. There's a couple of ways to get around that. But basically what I ended up doing was I decided to get a little lapel microphone and tie it into this guy, my little Tascam audio recorder. However, three times since I got my lapel mic, I've used this Tascam to record audio, and 3 times it has let me down. First of all, on this Tascam, the very first time that I set it to record and did an audio track, something happened. I put it in my pocket, and initially I thought that I just forgot a step. I thought that I messed up. And what I mean by that is when you plug this the external microphone in, there's an adjustment on the bottom for the gain, for how, you know, how responsive to be, and you have to set that gain to have the right audio levels. If the gain's too high, it's going to clip. If it's too low, it's not going to pick anything up. Well, basically the audio file itself was pretty much empty. There was absolutely nothing. So either there was a problem with the mic at the time, which I don't think so. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know what could have possibly happened to the mic, or somehow that gain was turned all the way down, or I didn't adjust it properly, or whatever. But anyway, the point is I had no audio, so I had to use the audio off the cameras. No big deal. Second time, go to dump the audio off the Tascam, and there is no audio on the Tascam. Well, technically there was audio. It's about 4 seconds worth of audio. So the Tascam does something a little bit strange, and I don't know if you can see it here, but there's a VU meter here, and when you hit the record button, you can see that it's lit solid red right now. That means it's recording. When you hit the record button initially, it blinks, and that lets you know that it's ready to record, but it's actually paused, so it's not recording audio. And that gives you a chance to see the VU meter, so you can adjust the gain, get everything set exactly the way that you want it, and then when you're ready, you hit the record button a second time and it begins recording. Makes perfect sense. That's what I did. Put it back in my pocket after I did that, and apparently when I put it in my pocket, somehow in shoving the wire from the mic back in my pocket or whatever, I must have hit the record button again and paused it. Because at the end of the record session, when everything was done, I was collecting all my equipment, I pull it out of my pocket to shut it off, and it look, quick glance, I see the record button is flashing, and I thought, that's not right. And I looked, and I again recorded about 4 or 5 seconds worth of audio, and that's it. This time, today, I went out, did a Hive inspection, did everything, come back, sit down, go to dump the footage and the audio off the camera and the Tascam, and once again I have no audio. Well, let me back up and say that I had about 2 seconds of audio. There is a little option. This is the power switch over here. And when you slide that switch down, you slide it down and hold it, and after like 2 seconds or whatever, it'll power up. Or if it's on, you slide it down and hold it, and after 2 seconds it powers down. It also goes in the opposite direction. That is a hold. So that puts a hold on the recording, or I mean on the buttons, so that no matter what you push on the front, it doesn't do that. Second time when I had the failure, I did not put it on hold. Today, I did put it on hold. So I knew I had not hit that button. However, what I also did today was I put it in easy mode, because I thought, you know what, easy mode just automatically adjusts the level, you know, to whatever it's picking up, whatever it's doing, it automatically adjusts for it. So I figured, you know what, instead of taking a chance of something weird happening, let me just put it in easy mode and hit record. Well, apparently in easy mode, when you hit the record button the first time, it actually starts recording. So when I hit it the second time to put it into record mode, I actually paused the recording. So I paused the recording and then put it on hold and put it in my pocket. So once again, no audio. So it's very, very windy out there. There's going to be a lot of wind noise in it. So I thought, you know, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to have a lot of wind noise and stuff like that? So then I thought about it and I realized this. A lot of the things that are taking place with these hive inspections now are things that you guys have already seen. For this particular hive inspection, I'm just going to kind of do the highlights. I'm just going to kind of show you guys the key things, you know, the differences between the last inspection and this one. You know, any key points, anything, you know, that really looks really awesome or amazing or whatever, you know, I want to show you guys that. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep it to the key points. And the next inspection, I have a suspicion that by the next inspection... Okay, yeah, so that just happened. The battery in my camera died. Not a good day. So anyway, let's just get on with the video. What's up, everybody? So here we are back at the hive. Now today we have to do another hive inspection. This is actually, we're basically coming up on 2 months, 8 weeks. Actually this Wednesday I think will be the 8 weeks since we actually installed the bees in the hive. So today is kind of, I guess, one of those milestones. We're going to be doing a couple of things. Right away, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that entrance reducer. As we saw last week, the population has really come up quite a bit. There's plenty of bees in the hive now. There's plenty of guards and everything to defend the hive. So we can go ahead and get rid of that piece of wood and just open it up and let them have the whole slot there. And there we go, that's it. So now you can see that whole slot there is open now, and they're able to get in and out of there using the whole thing, which would be great. Depending on how many of these frames they have drawn out and where the brood is and everything, we may swap frames around a little bit to put some of the empty frames that they haven't started on more in the middle. Not real sure about that, but basically what that'll do is that'll promote them to start drawing out these frames that are more on the outside. So there we go. So there's some capped honey. And you can see they've got about half the frame drawn out. You can see nectar down there that hasn't been finished drying yet. And then they've drawn out down here but not really done much with it. But once we get down here, we can see lots of pollen in these lower cells, and then up top is definitely some honey that's being capped off. So that's go. So we got honey capped off in both corners, and then lots of brood. And then in the middle we got quite a bit of brood that's being capped off there. Looks like a lot of empty cells here, but really, if you, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but if you look real close in there, you can see there are definitely eggs. And then we got pollen running along the top there, and then in the corners we got our honey. And then on the back side we got lots of empty cells. Again, there's definitely eggs in there if you have a look. quite a bit of cap brood, nice even brood pattern, and then our corners with honey. So oh look, check this out. Here's a cool little treat. So if you look, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Look right there. See that big bee in the middle? I don't know if you can see my finger where I'm pointing to or not, but this guy right there, see how gigantic he is, his big eyes, and way, way bigger than the other bees? That is a drone. That's a male bee. Now, if you're wondering, in a lot of the other videos that you've seen, I've typically done the top box, looked at it, thrown it off to the side, and then went to the bottom box. Now today you'll notice that I did a little bit different. If you're wondering why, it's basically because of the population and the amount of utilization of the boxes. Early on, this top box had nothing in it. So it was easier just to kind of pop through there, look at a couple, throw it off to the side. Then get into the bottom, because the bottom was really where most of the activity and everything that we wanted to look at was. Now I'm just going to show, you know, we've got lots of new comb there, and you can see it's all packed with nectar. So that's all going to be honey up here, which is what we expect and what we want. Because most of everything up here, eventually, oh yeah, our queen has definitely been around here. Let me show this. So now here, again on the top, we've got all that capped honey and nectar, and then in the middle here you can see we've got lots of comb, and you can see, hopefully you can see the eggs down in there. It looks like this comb's a little bit cleaner, so because it's newer, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better to give you guys a better look. See all that brood. There's a little bit of burr comb down here we're going to have to take care of. And then on the other side, again, lots of brood. A lot of capped honey on that back side there. And then a lot of brood. And then we got some burr comb down here that I'm going to clean up. So, give you guys a shot. Look at all that capped honey right there. Beautiful. And they're finishing drawing out that frame as well. On the back side, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but same thing. A lot of honey up in the corner, and they're working on drawing out farther down. So let's slide these back in here. Put them away. And then we'll talk about what we saw. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. We've got our hive back together. Just as a quick recap, in the lower chamber, we saw everything. It was doing great. We opened up the entrance reducer a little bit there, just to give them more room. They got plenty of numbers in there to get things going. And we definitely haven't gotten to the point where we're ready to add a honey super, but we're getting really, really close. I mean, once they draw out another probably 2 or 3 frames, we'll be ready to get that honey super up there and start collecting some honey for ourselves if we have time to do it. So, I'm Greg, and I'm beaking out.